Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. As always, we are going to kick off with a bunch of updates from our team before we move into an opportunity to have some Q&A from the audience. If you do have any questions throughout today's session, please do feel free to ask them in the Q&A section. You'll find the Q&A section at the bottom, and also feel free to utilize the chat as well. But do try to keep your questions actually in the Q&A section. It makes it a lot easier to track the questions that are asked and answer in reply to them, basically. So yeah, if you do get disconnected at any point today, we are live streaming, we are recording, so you can head over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@hospitable. And without further ado, I'm going to get started because we have a lot to get through. I'm going to hand over to PC with a few introductions to some new team members. PC.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miles. Our team is continuously expanding, and we have two new roles to announce today. And we've been looking for the gems really for months, and we absolutely do not regret it because we're very excited to be introducing them to you today. And the first one is our new accountant in residence. It's going to give us some literal air should probably not have the H here, air. Anyway, so accountant in residence, Brandon is a Hospitable host user since 2019, and like many others, has decided to make the jump over to be on the other side of the town hall. And so yeah, introduce yourself. What's up, Brandon?
Yes, thanks, PC. So as he said, my name is Brandon Hudeman. I'm actually based in St. Louis, Missouri. Been a host in a hospital since 2019. Started hosting with my husband back in 2019, and now we've grown our business from just doing 4 properties to managing many more. So our business has grown exponentially, and then I made a little switch over from our company over to Hospitable. So I am our new accountant in residence is my role. Which means I'm going to be doing a lot of accounting things for Hospitable, for our customers, for marketing, more and more. Oh, thank you for the CPA. Thank
I
you.
realized I forgot that, but now we know we can update the slides live. So
Yes.
which we do, because we're a bit anxious about that. Yes, you're a CPA, and obviously that has to follow your last name,
Yes,
etc. I'm sorry, that's a no. But
that's
thank you.
okay.
So yeah, what are you gonna do? Like a lot of accounting things. Where are you planning to help us?
So starting out, we're focusing a little bit more for the owner statements. We're going to continue to adapt that. We have recently released our QuickBooks Online integration, so I'm going to continue to help assist with that and help integrate that as we move forward for our customers, as well as many marketing sessions on Q&A, how we can better help, from an earnings standpoint, tax perspective, expenses, and just provide better insight for our customers. So I will be everywhere and all over the place, but at the same time helping integrate and help continue to add accounting for Hospitable and our customers. So
And plenty of work as well regarding direct premium, especially
yes.
on lodging, taxes, collection, remittance. That's basically something that we're taking on behalf of our customers to make it super easy. But yeah, we need an accountant to basically manage that project. Good luck, Brandon.
Thanks.
There's plenty of hopes around you
Yes.
on your position and you getting started. I think it took basically an hour for product managers to jump at you, like, please help us solve that one. This is a small problem. It should take you no more than 5 minutes. Yeah, very excited to have you, Brandon. Second one is also we've been looking, I think, since July, and there were many town halls where we shared that this position was still open. It's our product designer, Matt, who is joining us from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. But yeah, tell us a bit more about you, Matt.
Thanks, PC. Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Youngblood. I'm an Englishman living in Amsterdam. I'm joining Hospitable as a staff product designer. So I'll be working with you, the customers, and also the Hospitable team to ensure that we continue to create useful, usable, and delightful experiences with the main aim of helping you, our customers, to be more successful. And one fun fact about me is that I certified as a yoga teacher in India 10 years ago, but I haven't practiced since I got certified.
Sounds like me and my last yoga lesson. So that's very funny because you are an Englishman in Amsterdam, which basically means the overlap of the two cultural clash between our product team. Very interesting for you to make that bridge. Yeah, we've not been having a designer in-house since 2021 or something. So definitely we're very excited to have someone to fill those big shoes. We're known to be very easy to use. I think and Matt agrees, there is still a lot of work ahead of us to realize our vision. But yeah, very happy to have you here as well, Matt, and very excited. You're staying with us on the town hall, so if you have UI and UX feedback, I'm sure you're going to hear it, right?
I'll be here.
Thank you, Matt. Now, for the more interesting part of this town hall, I think I can go with Nikita for some more AI updates and new features. Exciting.
Thanks, PC, and thanks, everyone. Hello. Yeah, let's talk AI. So let's get started first with the Knowledge Hub. So quick refresher, Knowledge Hub, why does it exist? It's a way for you to add details about your properties to Hospitable so that our AI can use it to craft better answers for your guests. And so far, we've had a pretty straightforward integration where you upload, for example, a PDF of your guidebook, or you integrate with our TouchStay integration where we import your digital guidebook. That gets into the Knowledge Hub for that particular property, and then the AI can use it, right? But then there was really no way to add any more content on top of that. There was a lot of kind of replacing, and that's it. So the upgrade that's gone live today is that, one, you can add multiple sources, which means that if you have multiple PDFs for whatever reason for your property, you can add all of them in and we'll pull all the content and combine it. Same with TouchStay and PDF, for example, you can combine those. And we will have more sources to come apart from that. But why does this matter apart from multiple PDFs in those cases where you do have them, is that you can now also, on the next slide, you can add new topics and new bits of knowledge yourself directly in the Knowledge Hub rather than always having to re-upload. So that is one very kind of straightforward improvement. But what this also opens up very soon to come, right after this, is that we will be able to detect whenever you have, for example, missing knowledge or conflicting knowledge. When you send messages in the inbox, we'll be able to suggest that to you automatically. And with just like 1 or 2 clicks, you can add that straight from the inbox to go into your Knowledge Hub. This has opened up a lot of opportunities for us, and there is more to come. We're not done yet on the Knowledge Hub. Now that we have multiple sources, next up is multiple properties. What does that mean? We know some of you obviously have multiple properties that you manage. And when you use the Knowledge Hub, you have to go into each property, into the Knowledge Hub, upload a PDF, go to the other property, upload a PDF. And in many cases, you have almost the same or at least highly overlapping knowledge across your properties. What we're going to do is allow you to manage that knowledge more intuitively across your whole portfolio, which means that if you have a standard set of guidelines around check-in policies or trash, whatever you want, you can have one way to manage that across your entire portfolio and then have just specific exceptions to different bits of knowledge for 1 or 2 properties that are different from this kind of default set. That's one upgrade that's coming soon. And the other one is extra sources that you can import from. So for example, if you want to be able to connect from a Google Docs document and have that refreshed automatically every day, well, guess what? That's coming. So stay tuned, more love coming to the Knowledge Hub. That's it for AI specifically, but you're not getting rid of me yet because I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Emily and I are tag teaming today for Mogul because I'm starting with a few updates on Mogul related to AI. First one is a big one. We talked about this first maybe 8-9 months ago when I demoed a cool kind of proof of concept where I showed the ability to just talk with my voice to the screen. It transcribes it and it does something, right? We had a prototype, it was working. We have this on our roadmap still. I haven't actually updated that number. We have this on our roadmap for 3rd quarter this year. That timeline has changed. We've accelerated tremendously, and a first version of this is now available to Mogul customers. What does this mean in practice? It means that you're able to, Miles, please, get answers to specific data within your account right now. that has to do with revenue, with occupancy rates, reservation statistics, tasks. We have a particular subset of data that we've made available to the Copilot system, and you can, on your Mogul account, access Copilot in the main menu. It will pull up a chat interface, and you can ask questions either from a pre-selected kind of offered list of possible questions, or type your own. Now, there will be some limitations. That's to be expected. We cannot immediately create the full spectrum of every possible kind of functionality that you would hope for. But what we have built is a way to automatically track what you're asking, and if the system cannot find information to answer that for you, we log that automatically. We know about it, and we can very quickly iterate and build that in as soon as we see that something's missing. So we're going to have a lot of things coming to Copilot very quickly in the coming weeks, basically, and months to come. And looking ahead a little bit, apart from just being able to pull data from the system, and we're talking about being able to just create graphs on the fly in that chat interface, not just kind of textual information. But beyond that, we want Copilot to be able to do things for you, right? And so you can imagine, again, as Mogul customers, for example, doing stuff like on your app, just tell Copilot, again, with voice or chat, I just bought some paper towels for this particular property. Make sure the owner is charged for that, because that's how you set up your fee structure. Or if Jeremy is an owner, send Jeremy a link to my owner portal again, because he's been asking for it. These are the sort of things that we look forward to doing very soon on Copilot. So super excited about this. It is live now to Mogul customers. And yeah, please try it out and let us know how you get on. Next, last town hall, I announced our first kind of attempt at AI auto reply. So after hours specifically. And just as a reminder, this is live right now, again, for Mogul customers. What does this mean? That means that you can reply to your guests literally while you sleep. And the way this works is you define your schedule. So for example, from 10 p.m. to, 7 a.m., you want this feature to be turned on. Now, to make sure that it works correctly, you need to define a policy written in plain text. That's up to you how you define this, but you need to write this when the AI shouldn't carry on, but just escalate it up to you as the host. So kind of, short circuit the system. A simple scenario is, only escalate when a guest is locked out. And so then you also define, well, what is the message that you want the system to send in that case? And that might be, please try out these 2 other backup codes. And if they don't work, reach me on this phone number, okay? That means that the AI will make the best effort possible to reply correctly to a guest on that schedule. And when it can't, either it simply doesn't. We have built-in kind of safeguards to make sure that the AI doesn't do things that it shouldn't be doing. But if it detects that this matches a scenario that you've defined in your escalation policy, we will send the message that you've written there as is instead of an AI message, so that the guest can reach out to you directly. This kind of gives you the best of both worlds, being able to kind of sleep peacefully if everything's going fine, but if something truly requires your attention, the guest will be able to reach you. And for those of you who want to have that little bit of attribution to let the guest know that this is in fact a message coming from your AI assistant, you have that option. You just enable that and write a message. We have a default there for you to be added to the end of this AI reply saying, this message is coming from my AI assistant. So again, this is live now. Please try it out. We actually saw a case last night where a guest was writing about, in fact, being locked out, and the system kind of picked up on that correctly behind the scenes while we were testing it. So moving on. This next bit is a little bit of surprise, not just for you, but even for the team at large, because I've kind of built this as a little bit of a side project in secret, and I unveiled it literally about an hour and a half before this town hall to the team, even internally. So if you have team members or agents using your inbox, it very often happens that they don't know who else is viewing the exact same conversation with the exact same guest. That changes today, in fact, as of an hour ago. If you have beta features enabled, for now, this is beta only. That will change very quickly, but for now, beta only. If you have beta features enabled, all of your team members will see whenever they, who else is viewing any particular conversation, both in the main view of the inbox as well as within the conversation, and you'll see when somebody is in the process of writing a message. This is really cool. Hopefully it helps you enjoy. And now I will pass it on to Emily to talk about more things in Mogul.
Cool. Thanks, Nick. I'm so excited to have the AI team more involved in Mogul features. It's been really, really fun. And I selfishly have gotten to benefit from many of these features myself as a host. So I'm going to move on and talk about adjustments, which we released last week. This is also an AI-powered feature, but a little bit less obviously so. So if you're on Mogul and you're using owner statements, one big gap that we've had for forever, has been that we haven't been pulling in adjustments. So think of Airbnb resolutions or ad hoc charges. We haven't been pulling those in and accounting for them. And so many of you have been kind of making up the difference by manually adding transactions. And the last thing we want to do is create more manual work for you. So as of several weeks ago, we started pulling in those adjustments. And as of last week, we're actually using AI to suggest how those adjustments should be handled. Now, this is important because you have agreements with your owners where you might say, you know, if someone breaks a vase, I'll charge them for it and I'll give that money back to you. We want to know like how you're splitting these things with your owners so that we can suggest the right category for that particular adjustment to fall into so that the money ends up in the right hands. So we're actually using AI to look at the conversation that you've had with the guest and look at the fees on your property and make our best educated guess on what that resolution is for. And we can be really fancy with this. We might detect a $500 resolution and know that 150 of that should be a refund for the cleaning and the rest should be split across each day for accommodation. So we will make that suggestion to you and you can either apply it as suggested or you can tweak it if you'd like. And again, I mentioned this is really important because we want to make sure that the money is being split properly between you and your owner and that you or your owner is actually getting the money that you've agreed. So we're excited to have this out. Adjustments aren't super common for a lot of people to do. But when you do have adjustments, we'll pull those in. And when you're actually reviewing your statement, those adjustments will be surfaced for you and you'll just have to approve them before you publish the statement. You can also kind of look at all the adjustments in your account all at once if you maybe have a VA doing this for you, and they can just click one by one and apply, adjust, apply, and get those kind of processed really quickly and easily. Want to make it easy for you to get those handled. I want to talk a little bit about what's coming for Mogul. We have been heads down for a while and we're getting started on some of the bigger projects that we've been talking about. So I'm going to give a little taste of those and ask you to upvote some things. And in our future town halls, we'll be sharing a lot more details. The first is the ability to customize the content of a statement. This has been a huge request from our host. You want to add columns, you want to hide columns, you want to change the way this box looks. So we've started releasing some very small kind of easy things that you can customize, like we now have an open text note box, but we're this week actually, we're working on adding more columns and giving you the ability to show or hide certain columns. So we're not going to give full flexibility because we want to make sure that the important information is there so that you can look at it and kind of understand how the calculations are working, but we're going to give a lot more flexibility. And if you want to be more granular and show, you know, the cleaning fee, you can do that. If you want to be less granular and maybe just show the amount that the owner is getting and the amount they owe you, you'll be able to do that. So we're excited to work towards statement content customization now. Next, totally switching gears, back to accounting. You met Brandon earlier. Yes, I'm one of the product managers who bothered him within his first probably 10 seconds of joining. And I had to try not to like LinkedIn stalk him before that. But we're super excited to have him because we want to work with him to come up with some really, really great business model based accounting recommendations. When we first built our QuickBooks integration, which we launched a couple of weeks ago, our primary use case in mind was for people who are managing properties on behalf of other owners. And so our suggestions for how to set up your account and do the accounting really have that perspective. But we've been really pleasantly surprised to find that many people who've upgraded to Mogul are not managing for others. Maybe you're still just working on growing and scaling your business, but you own all your properties, or maybe you're doing arbitrage. So we want to know a little bit more about your business so that we can make the right suggestion for you, as opposed to applying a blanket suggestion in all cases. Now, with the accounting integration, it's still very flexible, and everyone's been able to kind of tweak it to work for them, but we want to be a little bit more smart with our suggestions, so that it's very easy for you to pick what you need and what fits with your business. All right, moving on to brands. So as more and more of you have started using statements, we've heard that you want to throw your brand on there before you share it with your owner, and that makes perfect sense. So we're now working on the ability for you to add your company brand or your owner-facing brand. Now, this is way more than just like uploading a logo and maybe some colors. This also includes buying a domain if you don't already have one, or connecting your existing domain and actually using that on all of the owner-facing products and communication. So the logo and the colors and stuff can be used on the statements, but imagine you publish the statement and it actually emails to the owner from your email, or from an email that has your property management company's domain. Imagine sending them a link to a portal that's at portal.mymanagementcompany.com or something like that. We really want you to feel like this, that we understand that you're showcasing your business when you're sharing portals, and you don't necessarily want Hospitable all over it. And as a mogul, you should be able to do just that. Now, we're going to be starting with some owner-facing stuff. However, all of this functionality is going to be extensible throughout the other parts of our product. So you'll also be able to use this for guest-facing brands. So maybe you have a different branding for each of your properties because they're themed or something. You'll be able to upload guest-facing brands as well that can be used in guest portals, domains specific for guest portals, and more. So we're super excited to get started on that. And our Mogul host will start to see some of the benefits of that with owner statements very soon. On to portals. We're super excited about portals. This is a project that can go on for a very long time because there's so much opportunity here. So we're going to be moving forward in a very phased way so that we can get you value soon, and we'll continue to grow it from there. So don't get too excited. This is just a prototype on the side, but this is giving you a little bit of an idea for what this portal might look like. Our initial phase is going to be branded emails to your owners from your own domain. We hope to release that this month. And the next phase will be that the owners can actually access a portal to view the statements and invoices. Again, a branded portal from your own domain. They could log into the portal and navigate it. This is going to be cool because they'll be able to benefit from like tooltips and maybe some other things we can add to the statement UI to be a little bit more descriptive with what things mean, where we just don't have the luxury to do that on a PDF of a statement, but we can if we give them access to the whole interface. And then after that, later on in the second quarter, we want to double down on the owner's portal and go all out. We want to be able to support owner payouts and payments as well, where the owners are connecting their bank accounts from the portal to get paid right into, or where they're opening the portal and clicking pay, and they've got their credit card attached and that pays you. Messaging between you and your owners, the ability for owners to book a stay. We've got a lot of exciting stuff planned, and we're going to start this phased approach very soon. So you'll be able to send the statements to the owners from a branded email. What is next? I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, okay. So if you're curious about Mogul and want to get started, you can upgrade directly from your account at any time. But if you'd like to talk to somebody and learn a little bit more about the benefits, you can reach out to Brian and book a call with him, and he will be happy to help you out. And then I will also mention that next week on March 12th at 12 p.m. Eastern, we have a Mogul Q&A where we're going to be going into much more depth about how things work and what our plans are for the future. So if you have some questions and you'd like to kind of hear from us and understand where we're going, we would love to have you join us there. Okay, like Nick, I have a little surprise to share myself, one that our engineer Luke actually surprised me with a couple of days ago, Zapier. Zapier is one of our highest upvoted feature requests on our roadmap. And for the longest time, we couldn't really do much about it because we didn't have tons of webhooks available. As you know, our platform team has been working on a new API and making new webhooks available. And so Luke gave us this little surprise earlier in the week. He just went ahead and made a Zapier integration. This is a native Hospitable Zapier integration. If you use Zapier, you can like find Hospitable and set up Zaps. Currently, this is in a beta phase with Zapier, and we actually need to get users using it before they are willing to make it publicly searchable on Zapier. So I'm going to be reaching out to everybody who's upvoted this. So if you haven't uploaded it, please do it now. And we'll be reaching out later this week to invite you to the beta. You can use Zapier for quite literally anything and everything. And I will say that messaging webhooks or messaging triggers are actually available as a part of this Zapier integration. We don't even have messaging webhooks available in our UI yet, so it's a little bit ahead. So just imagine what you can do. You can have a Zap configured to send you a text message if a message contains something. You can be sending information to a Google Sheet if you want. Literally, it's just only limited by your imagination. There's a ton of apps and connectors available on Zapier for you to get really advanced if you'd like to. So please upvote that, and we'll be reaching out shortly if you'd like to participate in the beta for it. All right, I'll pass it off to Kelsey for updates from the connectivity team.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. Hi, everyone. Couple updates from connectivity this week, and we're starting with Booking.com. Some fixes and improvements. So about a month ago, we announced that we added a button to alter a reservation, Booking.com reservation from the messaging thread. More recently, we have realized that this is not something that we can actually do if the guest has used payments by Booking for their reservation. Additionally, Booking.com does have a limitation where if a guest has used payments by Booking and they have already checked in, their reservation cannot be altered either from the extranet nor from channel manager PMS such as Hospitable. So in order to actually change that reservation, you do have to go through Booking.com customer support. But to reduce confusion for hosts, we have just as a result removed the option to alter a reservation from the inbox if a guest used payments by Booking. And the goal there, again, to reduce some confusion for when a reservation can and cannot be altered. So if the button is there, you should now be able to alter that reservation from Hospitable. And secondly, we had some hosts reach out about an issue with some Booking.com reservations where automated messages were not being triggered. This is primarily for new Booking.com reservations. I wanted to let everyone know that we have recently resolved this issue. So all future and ongoing reservations that may have been impacted now have messages that have been scheduled, and those should go out as expected. Additionally, what's in progress with Booking.com? I'll be talking about the private pilot again in next slide, but wanted to talk a little bit about the request to book messaging pilot that Booking.com is running. So we've been working with Booking.com on their pilot for messaging with a request to book or inquiry. And we gained access to this feature at the end of January, and we've been actively testing it. This is only available to select Booking.com hosts, so they are running and managing those who are on the pilot. But we met with them last week to provide some feedback, and while they don't yet have a timeline on when this will be widely available, we should be able to support it once it is, which is exciting. And as part of this work, we've also identified that we should be able to support automatic pre-approvals for inquiries as well, which is something we can introduce again once this feature is live for more Booking.com hosts. All right, and on to the private pilot. So we've been running the Booking.com private pilot for about 2 weeks, and we've been learning a lot about listing creation and listing configuration within Booking.com. We've also been receiving a lot of really great feedback from hosts along the way. I know that there have been some questions about what this pilot involved. So I wanted to provide just another overview of exactly what we're doing and why. So what are we doing with the private pilot? We are creating listings directly in Booking.com, and we are managing both the listing details and the calendar. So this does differ slightly from our standard Booking.com integration, where we're only syncing, right, the calendar availability and bookings and all that. But we're not controlling the listing details. So we are helping hosts create the listings in existing Booking.com accounts, but we can also help hosts create a Booking.com account along the way. So if you aren't already in Booking.com, need to create an account, through that process of pushing a listing from Hospitable to Booking.com, we can also help you create that account. And we've seen a really nice mix of both of these scenarios. So either those who are familiar with Booking.com and have an account and just want to create the listing, and then also those who are brand new to Booking.com. And getting feedback from both of those categories is really important, because we can get feedback about missing details for those who are a little bit more familiar with it. And then those who are brand new have the opportunity to kind of run through exactly what a Booking.com listing has and what would be great for us to populate. So we're populating a lot of data. We're populating photos and photo tags, the rate plan using cancellation policy from that's most closely aligned with Airbnb, listing type, rooms, and amenities. So a lot of things. We want to push as much as we possibly can over to the listing in Booking.com. The goal is really to save you time by filling in as many of those details as we can, and reduce any manual effort of having to log into the extranet and input those details. So there's a couple things that still need to be done through this process, but we're really getting there. But why are we doing this? This really sets the foundation for full listing management across multiple platforms. So once we can really do this well in Booking.com, we'll be really excited to roll this out to others. We'll eventually expand this so you can manage all listings directly within Hospitable without having to recreate them on each platform before then connecting to Hospitable. And ultimately, we really want you to be able to manage and update your property details in one place, and that place being, of course, Hospitable. So really exciting step in that direction. Just to reiterate, it's still in private pilot. It is open to those who have signed up for that. We recently opened up some more availability on Monday. We've completed 11 sessions so far. We're learning and improving as we go, and we'll keep this running for another few weeks. And so what's next for connectivity? We're going to be adding rule sets to Hospitable. What are rule sets? Rule sets is an Airbnb feature that allows you to apply pricing and availability settings to specific dates or date ranges from the Airbnb calendar. So pricing settings or adjustments would be, increases or decreases to the price, in some cases discounts. And then availability settings would be adjusting minimum nights and restricting check-in, check-out to certain days. And these are used quite frequently. We've, some examples of scenarios where hosts would use this as, adjusting for holiday weekends or managing seasonal changes to your calendar, and making sure that your calendar is updated in the way that you want it to be and how guests can actually book. So how will we use these in Hospitable? We will import your existing Airbnb rule sets so that they're available within the Hospitable calendar. You'll be able to create new rule sets directly in Hospitable as well. And you'll have a calendar view so that you can easily visualize where these rule sets are applied. And of course, you'll be able to apply them from Hospitable. And finally, once these are applied, we'll push the pricing and availability updates to back to Airbnb, of course, your other connected platforms, and of course, direct booking calendar. So why are we doing this? We really want to bring this functionality into Hospitable so you don't have to log into Airbnb to manage and apply these rule sets, so that you can manage your calendar all in one place without having to switch back and forth between platforms. And we also want to ensure that your direct pricing stays accurate based on the rule sets that may be applied, so that Airbnb is in a lower price than direct. We've heard that feedback, and we definitely want to address that. And when is this happening? So excited to announce that backend development is going to start next week. So still some questions on exactly what the front end will look like, but we're working through that. Hope to have it completed this week, and then we're super excited to bring this to you in the near future. That's it for connectivity. I believe Direct is next.
Yes, it is. So first update for Direct is that we are going to be launching a new and improved version of guest verification. So this will impact those of you who are on Direct Premium, or also if you use our ad hoc guest verification feature. And why are we doing this? Well, we heard a tremendous amount of feedback from you all that this process could be a lot better. We heard feedback that it was not easy or intuitive for guests to complete guest verification, and that's not good. We don't want guest verification to be something that prevents you from getting direct bookings. We also heard some feedback that the process that we had for manual review by our support team, which is intended to give you an additional layer of protection to identify potential fraud and protect you from chargebacks, for example. We heard feedback that too many guests were getting sent to manual review, and often for benign things like the barcode on the ID couldn't be read, and so that needed to be manually reviewed by our support team, which meant that you as a host needed to wait longer to be able to actually accept a booking. And we don't want you to have to wait on those manual reviews as well, especially if those reviews are not necessary. So what we're doing about it, we are going to be, as I said, launching a new guest verification solution over the next week or two. You'll start seeing this roll out. And we're going to be partnering with a cutting-edge identity verification platform, which should allow us to provide a much smoother experience for guests and help eliminate or decrease the errors we were seeing when it comes to uploading an ID or a selfie. And we're also going to change our process around manual review a little bit so that our support team is reviewing only the highest risk reservations, or reservations where there is potential fraud that we need to protect you from as a merchant of record. And everything else, we'll give you an assessment of risk, but it's up to you as a host to decide whether or not you want to accept that reservation. So for example, local guests are generally flagged as risky. But maybe your property is located in an urban area, or you have a stadium or some other event venue nearby. And so local guests that are, from 10 to 20 miles away are not really a concern for you. Well, we'll make you aware of that risk, but that doesn't mean that that's something that our support team needs to manually review and make a decision for you on. So yeah, you'll see these improvements coming out. Like I said, we're working on this as quickly as we can because this is a major priority for us. And it will also open some opportunities in the future. I think, for example, with Instant Book, if you want to we'll give you some more options where you can decide based on the risk factors, which guests can actually instantly book with you and not go through your own approval or request to book. So more to come here, but it will be, you'll see it even before our next town hall. So I wanted to share that this is coming soon. And then next up for Direct, just a really small but hopefully impactful update. We had a lot of cases where guests who have paid with payment terms were reaching out to you and asking to pay for scheduled payment sooner. Maybe payday is on Friday and they want to just get that payment over with and not have to worry about it next month. And so you had to reach out to our support team before in order to make that happen. And that will no longer be the case. So now guests can actually go into the guest portal, and when they see their scheduled payments, there will be a pay now button for them where they can go and pay that payment ahead of time. They can pay with a different card. And so there's no reason for you to reach out to our support team for this anymore going forward. And then lastly, you may have already noticed, but we've been spending some time improving the experience for our users when it comes to getting set up on Direct. And as part of that is we've been creating kind of a wizard for creating your Hospitable sites. So now when you go to create a Hospitable site, you can actually create a site and have it ready to publish in just a couple of clicks, because we'll walk you through it. We're now using AI to generate suggestions for your hero title and subtitle. We're actually pulling in your property photo as an example for your hero images. So you can just start seeing what your direct site looks like and play around with it and customize it from there. We are also, as you can see in the GIF here, we've made some updates to our site admin pages so that you can actually update your site and see the preview in the same window. You don't need to update your site and then separately see the preview. We've talked about how we want to have a true site builder in the future. And so this is kind of a baby step towards that longer term goal. And then finally, if you're curious about, if you're not using direct already and you're curious about direct bookings, but you're not sure how it works or where to start, because we're improving the direct setup process, like now is a better time than ever to start on direct. And you can actually schedule a consultation with our customer success manager, Marcus, who can walk you through it and help you get set up. So you can scan that QR code to schedule a call with Marcus. And that's it for direct. I think Nick's coming back to talk about upsells.
I'm back. We haven't talked about upsells in a while. Let's change that with a few announcements. First, so far, upsells have only been available within the guest portal. So your guests would have had to access the guest portal, which they would do often. But in any case, it's not a frequent kind of occurrence that they come back to it. Now, upsells are available within the booking flow itself. So when one of your guests is, and again, preface, this is still only on direct premium, kind of getting ahead of that question. So if you're on direct premium and one of your guests is going in to book, what they will see at the very tail end of that process is the ability to purchase an upsell that you have set up in Hospitable. Right now, this is still early check and late checkout, but I will talk about that in the next slide, actually. So why did we do this here? Well, it means there's the opportunity for more revenue for you upfront, where the guest can add an upsell to their checkout experience as they're making the booking. And that also means that it just kind of works natively with payment terms if they've elected to pay in installments. And this is also not disruptive to the booking flow. So it's not like an individual page in the middle of it, which might affect kind of conversion. It's like right at the end, if they want to add on to enhance their experience, click, and done, right? So this is live now. It's already available for any guests visiting your direct premium websites. Hopefully that helps. Next, some more stuff on upsells. Live later this week, you will be able to add any, with an asterisk, and that I will explain soon, any products that you want to sell through the Hospitable upsells system. That means that if you want to offer some equipment rentals, heated pool, flowers on arrival, whatever you want, that is going to be available basically within the next couple of days. And just like I said, right now, that will be available both on guest portal and booking flow, and you'll be able to choose whether or not some particular item is available in the booking flow or not. And importantly, you'll also be able to offer upsells with fixed costs. So you just pay, I don't know, $30 for X, or nightly prices. So the guest would actually be able to pay you for a 7-night stay, and your upsell, if you're selling a heated pool and you're setting it up to be with a nightly price of, like, let's say, I don't know, $15, well, that means that the cost that the guest will pay will be 7 times 15 for the duration of the stay. So that's how nightly pricing will work. Super exciting. Finally, I've honestly been sad that I haven't been able to push this out sooner than this. Believe me. The small asterisks. Mid-stay cleanings are a thing that we're working on separately from this. It's going to be a unique category. Why? Because one, there's a deeper integration with the calendar, with your teammates, with tasks. So that has to be handled separately, just like we've done with early check-in and late checkout. Also because there's a very slight consideration for tax treatment related to additional purchase of cleanings. And along with that, you don't necessarily want a guest to be able to book a mid-stay cleaning without you having to approve it first, because a cleaner might not be available that day. So upsells that are approvable, and that means mid-stay cleanings and others, are also going to be coming with this upgrade. Also, something to look forward to is the ability to have the guests sign an agreement of some kind when purchasing an upsell. For example, that might have to do with equipment rental. All of that is coming soon, but this week you can look forward to the ability to add any products that you want to upsell to your direct premium guests. That's it for me. And coming up, I think, is Sam talking a little bit about maintenance.
Yes, thank you, Nick, again. All right, we're going fairly long on this town hall, so I will try and keep it as brief as possible. So I just wanted to highlight that we're going to be performing a scheduled maintenance. That's going to be on this coming Saturday. So that's 7 a.m. UTC, Saturday at 2 a.m. Eastern, and that's actually Friday 11 p.m. Pacific. And this maintenance should last approximately 1 hour. So we actually need to make some fairly significant and actually unavoidable infrastructure upgrades that we can't do in the background like we would normally do. So we've selected the quietest period across all our operations to try and reduce any impact to customers. So what does this actually mean for you? So during that time, our application, that's my.hospitable.com, and our mobile apps will be unavailable. And we have informed Airbnb and Booking.com, they're aware of our maintenance, and they will be making listings unavailable to prevent double bookings during that time. Our public API will also be unavailable. So we've already contacted our partners and vendors to let them know. And we're working with them to ensure the least disruption during that period. And of course, our support and engineering team will be on hand during and post maintenance to answer any questions you might have. On the next slide, myself and the engineering team, we've been planning this for a little over a month now. Obviously, it's a fairly big deal for us to have a maintenance period like this. And so we've been planning it for a little over a month, and just to make sure we can kind of complete that work as quickly as possible. But you will be able to find more details and follow along on the day at status.hospitable.com. And I will hand you over now to Miles to talk about some integrations.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sam. And I'm going to keep this very light, and Emily is going to do me a favor and drop the links to these folks in the chat because we don't have tons of time and I want to make sure we have time for Q&A. So just a few integrations here that are new and also some offers for you. So first up is HostBuddy AI, automated guest messaging app. They are offering half off your first paid month. Check out the chat for the link. We do also have Better SDR, which is a new digital guestbook application. Again, first 6 months free there on that one. Again, check out the chat for the link to that. We also have Beyond. So Beyond is an existing integration partner that has been integrated for quite a while, but they have a new offer for their Insights package, which is basically 1 month free of Insights, usually costing a little under $300 per month there. So again, check out the link in the chat. And lastly, Boostly, again, an existing connected partner, but offering a special offer there as well. So 30% off the setup fee if you give them a call and quote that you came from Hospitable in the next 30 days. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to jump over to our Q&A session. So if you haven't already, please feel free to raise your hand and we will get to some folks shortly. Andrew, I don't know if you had a question you wanted to pull out the Q&A and answer immediately. Yeah,
I
go
do.
ahead.
So yeah, there were several questions around this is only starting in Mogul. Is it ever going to come to other tiers? Is it going to come to Legacy, etc.? So I just wanted to share kind of an update on our thinking right now on how we pilot new features. We are choosing to pilot a lot of new features in Mogul. It makes sense for us. Our beta audience is about 3,000 users, which is too big to release a pilot feature for. So this is a right-sized audience for us. It's self-selected audience for early adopters for new features. They're already on Mogul. They're using the latest features. So for a lot of reasons, it makes sense for us. And as a business, it feels right to give the added perk to those customers that are at the top pricing tier. That doesn't mean that these features are not going to come to the other tiers or even to legacy customers. If you're new to Hospitable, that refers to people that joined a long time ago and have some preferential pricing that is no longer available. Our goal is to update, most of our users to a pricing tier, but we're very honest about this. If you look at our app, we tell you if you're on the best plan and you are getting the best deal from Hospitable, we tell you not to upgrade. If you're going to save money by upgrading because we bundle so much value into the product, we tell you could save money by updating to a pricing tier. And we're continuing to pack value. That's our strategy to get you to upgrade. We're not going to force you, but it's to bundle so much value into the pricing tiers that it just makes so much sense. So I think the last town hall, we announced that we were doubling the number of included smart devices in our pricing tiers. That saves you $5 per device. If you're using thermostats, you're using smart locks. If you're using Direct, that's a paid feature in Legacy only. It's included in Pro and Mogul users. You're probably going to save money as you start to grow in the amount of value that Hospitable is providing you. And I'm going to tease a big announcement that is coming in April that is just absolutely going to obliterate how much value we are providing in the pricing tiers. I'm not going to say what it is, Pierre.
Don't.
I know you want to tease this out.
Nah.
And that will not be coming to Legacy, but at that time, you are going to want to upgrade because we will be providing so much value at those tiers.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have released new features to all customers, including legacy customers, such as rental agreements, including recently. It just basically, I think, I totally agree with whatever Andrew said. It feels right as a business to be giving new features to some of you that have self-qualified as early adopters, working with property managers that needs a different set of features than what you would do to roll out to our entire customer base or just beta users. I think there's also something that may not make sense to you guys when you hear that actually maybe Pro or Mogul can turn out to be cheaper than legacy plans with all the modular add-on that are available on legacy. And there really is something that's interesting for us is about the delivery channel. So you qualify as a scaling self-manager or a starting property manager under Pro. You are identifying as a scaling property manager that needs different tools as a Mogul. And then on Host, there is really one value that we're here to help you with, and that's really saving you time because you value your time immensely as you are professionalizing your operation elsewhere. So it's really a lot of fun. But yeah, it's our responsibility to make it a no-brainer. I will double down. You want to stay tuned for, I think, 2 town halls from now, 3 town halls from now, where we're going to do some big updates. That's going to make it absolutely compelling for you to consider moving to one of the new plans of Host, Professional, or Mogul. We have plenty of conversation like that on Facebook. It may actually, in many cases, we see our revenue as a company going down from legacy to when you move to Pro or to Mogul. That's also the same if you're a legacy customer with 1 or 2 properties. You could actually consider using Host instead. And we've seen plenty taking that direction. Okay, let's move on to the next question, Miles.
We've got a couple of people with their hands raised. John, I'm inviting you on stage. Hello, John. Do you have a question for us?
Oh, no, I apologize.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Thank you, John.
Swiftly moving on. Ignat. Hello, Ignat. Welcome back. Do you have a question for us?
Ignat.
Yes, can you guys hear me okay?
Perfect. How can we help?
First of all, huge thanks to you guys for all the new products and making the Hospitable platform what it is today. And I'm one of those legacy customers you're referring to. I was with you guys since it was called Smart B&B. But anyways, Ignat Bakel, Southern California. My question is in regards to Booking.com. I have submitted my information actually twice, in January and on the last one in February. But I didn't get a chance to hear from you guys regarding the Booking.com integration. We have built out our Booking.com listings on Booking.com based on the previous instructions. But I was hoping to speak with you guys before we actually connect them, and I was hoping to get that done. So my question is regarding if I could get Booking.com help with the integration between Hospitable and Booking.com.
Hi, Nat. Thanks for
Hello.
Thanks for on. Did you say all of your listings are currently in Booking.com?
Yes, we manually created Booking.com listings.
Okay. At this point, the private pilot is only covering actually creating those listings in Booking.com for the first time. So I'm afraid that we wouldn't be able to necessarily help with that. But
Wait, sorry, Gazi, I'm interrupting. That was very rude of me. I think Ignat just wants to connect his Booking.com property, which is something that has been live since 2021 or something. So is there any particular point of anxiety? to connect to your Booking.com listings?
I'm open to deleting or archiving somehow the old listings of Booking.com and reconnecting with the new system. Right now, we're not taking reservations because I was waiting for you. I was kind of waiting for you guys to build out this Booking.com integration.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, okay. If you have not taken any reservation, there's no problem. I mean, maybe Kelsey can set up a call.
Absolutely.
I'm open to setting up a new.
Perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
I can send,
Yeah.
I can send an email and
we
can schedule a session to do that.
Okay, awesome. Do you need my info? Or?
We've got your info. Don't worry.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
See?
Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you very much. Okay, and moving on now to Bobby. Hello, Bobby. Welcoming you on stage.
Thanks, Miles. Hey, so quick question. I know we kind of went back and forth in the chat about this, but just wanted to confirm if we're on the legacy plan, then right now, some of the AI features are not available. There's no special like legacy pricing for Mogul. The only special pricing is under the legacy plan, and that's it. So if we upgrade to Mogul, then we're essentially paying, whatever the Mogul price is as of today. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Legacy plan is the plan that is retired, that was made available between 2017 and 2020, last May. So there is no new customers that can activate this plan. This plan, the fee structure was very modular, so that you have to take multiple decisions to basically decide to make Hospitable adapt. We realized that basically it doesn't work, and really that's why we have those those bundles, Host, Pro, and Mogul, and the price is what you see on the pricing page. So if you transition from legacy to Mogul, like many customers that basically are moving to Mogul, then basically you will have access to all the features that have been developing in recent months and the new ones too.
Okay, cool. No, that totally makes sense. I appreciate the clarification. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't doing something incorrect and losing the legacy pricing. But I get it, man. You guys are, whipping out the integrations on a regular basis, and I understand the costs increase, per the value. So appreciate the work you guys are doing, and the clarification.
Thank you, Bobby. And I think Brian will have a bit of a trial with you, right? Yeah, okay. Now you are going to be called nervous, Miles. Okay, let's move to next. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, sorry about that, Bobby. Okay, Robert, we have you on next. Hello, Robert.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are in the world. This is more of a question about the use of the calendar. Obviously, I use the calendar for many different features, including tasks. And I just want to ask, is there any way for the calendar to be anchored when you move forward? Like, let's say I scroll from today to July, and then I switch from calendar occupancy to task. It kicks me all the way back to the current date, and then I got to scroll forward again to do what I wanted to do. So I'm not sure it's possible, but if you could ask the team to look into, is there a way to keep the calendar where you were at when you switch from from occupancy to task?
Yes, absolutely. We'll raise that internally. I think Ben isn't here today, but we'll raise that internally. That should be a fairly simple thing to do. We kind of know where you are, and and hopefully we can kind of bring that over when you switch between the two views. So I'll raise that internally, and that should be a pretty quick fix from our end.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. And then the second part of my question has to do with unread mail. Over the last 2 weeks, I keep getting a lot of messages that I have unread mail in my inbox. I go to the inbox, it doesn't have anything. I go to unread mail, it doesn't have anything. Then I go back, and sure enough, there's an icon there that says I have unread mail. Is this a known situation, or am I experiencing something unique?
I'm sure you're very special to us, but maybe that's not something that I believe is super unique. Emily?
Yeah, I have actually experienced that today on my own app. So I'm gonna chat with the engineers about it once I kind of record it happening. But yeah, we know about it, and I think it's something we can fix. Thank you
Thanks,
for
Emily.
raising it.
Have a great day, and thanks for all that the team does. It's really appreciated by me, and I'm sure everybody else.
Thank you, Robert. Yeah, we have some other people in the chat saying that basically that's also happening to their account, showing as unread. And Anthony saying it's often tied to Verbo. Shocker. His words, not mine. Miles, who's next?
Okay, we're going to have, I think, maybe one last person. We've got Amir next. Hello, Amir.
Hello, Amir.
Afternoon, guys, at least where I am. And like everybody said, thank you very much for all the hard work that you guys do. I actually have a follow-up on Booking.com. Last time we spoke, I believe you were in pilot, and I requested if I can be on that pilot. But since then, I have already made my manual um, listings and have connected, and I'm getting bookings. Everything is fine. But I just wanted to get an update on when it's going to be a full rollout for us to automatically create listings in Booking.com. Second question is around taxes, remitting taxes. I kind of run into this problem. I don't know if others do. Is today in the matrix we have either a reservations tab which shows you amount, or you have taxes tab which shows you the amount itself. But the way those STR taxes are, if the taxes tab can include not the amount of tax, but the amount of revenue, that will kind of reduce a lot of workload that we have in remitting taxes, or maybe some other type of report that kind of comes out to help some automation in remitting our taxes. Today, like in my case, I have Galveston board who still want us to type in the amount for Airbnb, even the tax was remitted. But then there are Booking.com who will just pass through. So those two buckets kind of gets a little bit confusing. And if there's any help Hospitable can provide, would be a good thing to have. Thank you.
Sure. On Booking.com, yeah, you're not blocked by anything. You kind of skipped the pilot and went straight to creating your own listings. So you have the full functionality of someone that is in the pilot. It's just we weren't able to automatically create your listings for you. There's a lot happening on Booking.com. We're moving towards full listings management, which means you can control the content for your listings, the photos, the descriptions, etc., for all of your channels from one place. That's something that's in progress now, and where it's not live. It's under development. But yeah, you're fine. If you set up your Booking.com listings, you're all good, and no reason to worry about waiting to get a call for the pilot. On the tax situation, I don't think I can help you on this call, especially since we're already over time. But yeah, we'll take your feedback. That we are trying to kind of unify how we look at taxes within Hospitable. It's an open discussion right now among the product team. And we're definitely doing a lot with Brandon joining the team as our accountant in residence, and hiring a firm to really help roll out at least on the direct premium side, the registration and remittance in the US for those taxes. But that's probably all we have time to comment on that for now. Sorry.
Understood. Is that May thing rolling out in April?
No. That's the thing
Did I
that's
get
coming
you
in April.
guys?
No.
Did I get you
The thing that's
guys?
coming in April is basically we have to keep it quiet because otherwise the competition. I mean, no, we want to have for once a big reveal, not a private pilot beta. So that's going to be one massive feature. Everything is transparent. So we've shared a roadmap for 2025. It's already there. It's just moving probably a little bit faster than we anticipated. And it's not exactly the thing that we contemplated doing, but as usual, the difference between starting and finishing a project is pretty immense in your team. But yeah, I think that's going to be driving compelling value to using Hospitable. So yeah, stay tuned. The release date that we have internally for now is mid-April to have some good fun. And Miles is going to be seizing that opportunity. You're gonna have to hear about that move.
And that's not a pilot program or something. That's more for
No,
everybody
it's not a
launching.
private product. It's going to be yeah. Oh, but I keep the surprise.
I can't
Because
sleep
I
till April
really don't
15th,
want to
man.
jinx it. I really don't. There's been a lot of work for months now on that. So yeah, stay tuned for more updates. Okay, we're at the end, and I'm basically at the hard stop at the hour. And so thank you so much, everyone, for basically joining us again for a new town hall packed with new features. What I particularly love is that you have a few features I didn't even know about. I don't think anyone else in the company knew about before basically starting this town hall. So yeah, pretty interesting development. Yeah, stay tuned. You can always watch the replay of that town hall recording on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at Hospitable. And we'll also be sharing the top updates of that town hall on our Facebook group, so that you can basically stay in loop and obviously buy emails and newsletters, etc. Thank you so much, everyone. Next one in 2 weeks, same place, same time. And yeah, with more updates, if that's even possible. Good luck, everyone, keeping up to date, keeping up with all those developments.